Hello, it's Kerry from the Soap Coach here. Week 2 of the Dog and I Revamp Diaries, and true to form, I'm just literally hopping on and recording this in the middle of all my soap making because otherwise I won't get it done, but it's again a reflection of reality. So last week I talked about how I was looking at my niche, looking at my mission, vision, values and how useful that would be later on. And the last week has been full on because I'm not around to do too much next week, so I needed to really get on top of everything. So since I recorded the last episode, I have decided, I've narrowed my niche right down, so I'm very much going to be about products that are multi-purpose, easy to grab and go, pick up for dog people, horse people, campers, hikers, walkers, ramblers, anyone really who fits into that quite busy outdoorsy type sector. So I've also did a little poll on Instagram about whether to use tins or glass jars, which I was quite surprised about. I thought glass jars look quite nice. They can be quite sturdy still. But the poll came back overwhelmingly 2-1 in favour of tins. So anything like body butters, balms will be in tins and not in glass jars, which kind of makes sense because they won't break. They might dent a little bit if they get battered around, but they won't break. I've also decided I am going to invest in professional photography. So that will be photography for my website, for some imagery for my products, and also for social media, etc. And for that, I've been in touch with an old friend stroke photographer who did work for me previously, who is Kerry Jordan from Fur and Fables. Now, I've chosen Kerry, A, because she did work for me before, B, because she is now living in the Lake District, which is absolutely perfect as a backdrop for the kind of image I see for the Rebrand. So I've spoken to her. She's really happy to be working with me, which is fantastic. It is an investment, I'm not going to lie, and I do appreciate that that's not for everybody, but for me, if I'm putting all this effort in, I need it to be up there straight away. So that's sorted. I've also been in touch with the chap who does my labels and has helped me with some design work. Because my logo, if you see it at the moment, and I haven't got a product to hand, but it is a lady in heels walking a dog, which was great when I wanted to be a boutique-y, high-end brand, but it doesn't fit the tweak to my niche. So I've asked him to have a look at my logo and see if we can tweak it to more of an outdoorsy walking type person. Drop the high heels, obviously. So it's just all little things like that I've had to think about. So I've emailed him, I'm in his queue, so that's in hand. And I know that once I've got that aspect done, then I can look more at my packaging. What else have I done? So, I've also looked at my trademarks. So I obviously trademarked the Dog and I quite some time ago, back in 2016/17. Now, thankfully, at the time, I knew that there would be the potential to move forward and to supply products for people as well, although it was never on my radar. But I trademarked into soap and other skincare products at the same time, so that I had that option there if I needed to, and I don't have to pay to have anything changed. As it happens, the dog products and the soaps for people, etc., do all fall under class 3. But I had listed the human products on there as well. So I know I don't need to worry about that. I have also, it's been a really busy week. I've also contacted my insurance company because at the moment I am just listed for dog products, which obviously is not going to be the case anymore. So I need to look at changing that so that I can be covered for my human products. So I'm waiting to hear back from that. No doubt they'll charge me some money because they always do, don't they? And then finally, well, not quite finally, I have decided on an initial range of products for people. And as in keeping with the grab and go multi-purpose, I've kept them quite limited initially so that I can work on that and create a range which will be useful to lots of people, I think. And I've ordered my assessments for those, which has cost me more money, but it's got to be done. So I'm in the queue for those. So hopefully I'll get those back in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But in the meantime, I know what I'm doing, so I can get on and make products if I want to anyway. So that leads me on to, just take it one step back. I have decided also that I'm going to tweak my colours on my website. So at the moment, I'm quite blue and seasidey. I'm going to be changing that to green and earthy because it does fit in with the niche a little bit more. That said, my existing dog products, I won't need to change those too much because they're mostly sort of dark grey and a light grey anyway, and black, so that won't be a problem. What else have I done? Right, so that's the last week. Fast forward to today. Now, I did say that I was switching over from hot process dog soaps to cold process. Now, I could do that as a gradual switch, but I don't want to send my stockists, my wholesale stockists, a mixture of different looking soaps. So I have had to make a big batch of soap up this morning in each of the varieties because obviously they take a few weeks to cure. So that has been this morning, which has been quite interesting because I have made big batches of cold processed soap before, but not like I've done today. So I have made, just to show you what I've done, I've made these slabs and one of each variety. I've only popped a few ropey ones in there for the moment because I needed to just check how that was going to work. So I have made this morning over 200 bars of soap. So they are all sat here at the moment. Now, because they are coconut oil soap and it sets really, really hard, I have got to stay here and cut them this afternoon because they will, I need to cut them within about 3 or 4 hours, really. So at the moment, I need to play this one by ear because I haven't made them in the big slab moulds like this before, and I'm not sure how long they will take to harden off in the middle. So again, it's a play it by ear really. So this is all of them. So that's 208 bars of soap there, which is not bad for a morning's work, and which is why I really wanted to switch across from hot process to cold. So I have done this before, this many in a day. I can do this many in a day in hot process, but it is a really long day. I have to do 2 lots of the hot process method. So I'd only really just be starting my second batch now. And I'd still have to stay and cut them all because they need cutting while they're still warm when it's hot process soap making. So it is the downside of coconut oil soap, but I really love it for the dog soap, so I'm not changing that. There's no way I'll be changing that. So I'm just going to keep an eye on these ones, see how they go, and as soon as they're hard enough to cut, then I'll be cutting all 208 bars today. I won't be beveling them all today because there's no real need to do that. And yeah, I'll be pleased once they're out the way. So that has been the last week. It's been busy, but I needed to get a lot of this stuff done so that I can then think about other things like packaging. I've come up with my human range. As I say, I've ordered my assessments, but I've come up with my variations within the assessments as well. So that took a whole day, to be fair, but a lot of that was based on experience, prior knowledge, etc. So if you were starting from scratch a business, there's no way that you would be able to do that. So please don't feel that if you're taking weeks or even months to come up with a range that you're not doing a good job, because you absolutely are. But obviously I've got years of practice and knowledge and what does and doesn't work behind me. So it's all a bit different for me. But yeah, hopefully you found that quite interesting. Give me a shout in the comments if you've got any questions. The next week, The next couple of weeks will actually be a lot slower because I'm waiting on other people to do stuff and I'm not around so much because I've got other things going on as well. So yeah, week 2 done.